Hello everyone, I'm Erica.
And I'm Akilah.
Welcome to Hearts Chat.
Yeah, hi guys.
Hey everyone.
Thank you so much for having us.
No problem.
Yeah,
Thanks
really
for being
excited.
on.
Of course.
So we're going to do our check-in a little bit different today, and we're going to all share a check-in of where we're doing, I guess, what we're doing, where we're at. So Akilah, do you want to check in? How are you doing?
Sure. Sorry. Actually, I'm doing very well, but not celebrating yet because I'm putting in my application for licensure as an American Family Therapist in New Jersey.
That's so
So
exciting.
the process has been so long. You guys know about this process, but it's been, I think, 6 years now.
Wow.
So,
And it's finally coming to an end.
A little clap.
Congratulations.
A little clap. I can't celebrate just yet though because New Jersey is very strict and have denied a couple people a couple times. So
Yeah.
I'll be really celebrating once I get that letter back.
Absolutely. We look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you.
You'll be
Thank you.
just fine.
Thank you. Erica, how are you?
Well, I've had a transition at work, so you've heard me talk about moving from Pennsylvania to Virginia for, my new job, and it's like shaking up now. So my contract ended, so now I'm going to be working somewhere else, which is a bit unsettling, but so far so good. It's been working out for me, so far, just trying to stay positive and hopeful. So I don't want to jinx myself, but so far I'm liking what I'm hearing, at the new place. So I'm looking forward to, a new opportunity.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I hope that it goes well. I'm sure it will. It all levels out eventually.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What about you, Jess?
Well, I just finished hosting my mother-in-law's surprise 60th birthday party. We had a lovely time. A lot of people in my house yesterday. Lovely to see people from all over the country come in to celebrate, family members and all of that. And, the day after, it's almost like having the post-party blues. So you're left over cleaning up. Luckily, my in-laws have been wonderful. They've been helping with a lot and just kind of getting back into the swing of things. Yeah.
That sounds great.
How about you, Sarah?
So I'm well. My life is pretty, I don't know, I live right now I'm very stress-free. The only thing that's giving me anxiety, both excited and nervous anxiety, is going to visit my in-laws for the holidays. We're going for an early Christmas, but my husband and I are Jewish, so it's a little bit an imbalanced holiday, where they're really excited to do Christmas and we're just waiting for Hanukkah. But I'm excited. I really like buying presents for my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law. They're really fun to shop for. So my whole dining room table is just covered in stuff for them. Where my husband's had to be you need to rein it in. Maybe save some of these for birthdays. Because I just get really excited.
You're just so generous.
Yeah.
But they're really fun to shop for. They have taste that's very easy to spot, and they like specific things. And so I'm really excited to see them and everything. And I'm just also nervous because family time is always a little bit up in the air, mysterious.
Very true. Very, very
That's
true.
exciting.
Yeah.
Really, really fun.
Yeah, I'm lucky I get along with them all really, really well. So
Very true.
mostly positive energy.
Well, nice. So I thought we could get into our interview and you could tell us and our listeners more about what Looseends is and what it's about.
Sure, absolutely. So, Looseends is a wellness platform. We offer individuals all over the world, no matter their experience, the opportunity to write, read, and share their knowledge with a community of like-minded people. So whether or not you're a licensed therapist, a yoga instructor, a business owner, a blogger, or even a survivor with a story to tell, Looseends is dedicated to creating a safe space for all of these narratives to connect. We are dedicated to bringing people together in order to change the way we talk about mental health. I'm sure Sarah would love to elaborate a little bit about us as well.
So we're trying to create a starting point for dialogue, a point of entry for anyone who needs help, or has help to offer. We call ourselves a platform because we want to lift people up whose voices have otherwise gone unheard. Looseends gives everyone the opportunity to share. Any work we publish is also linked directly back to the author, whether they have a blog or a business to promote, or would simply like readers to connect with them on social media. And Looseends just aims to bring the support full circle.
Nice. I know we talked previously and you explained it as like the Pinterest for mental health, which I thought was a really creative way to explain it.
It sort of is. Yeah, you know, it's so funny. We were just sitting here trying to think about how to present this to the average user.
Yeah.
And there's really nothing out there right now that best represents what Looseends is to really compare it to. And so I guess it's sort of like the Pinterest, but it could also be the HuffPost. It could also be, it's really just a unique platform. It has yet to have a name.
Yeah.
So we are really carving out that name.
Yeah, someday somebody will say that their website is the loose ends of the...
Right.
I don't know.
Right. That's how we kind of look at it. Yeah. But I started this, almost 2 years ago when I was battling my own really unhealed journey. I had been growing up. I had no idea I was struggling with anxiety or depression or OCD and eating disorders. And I was planning my wedding, and all of a sudden I hit a brick wall. I knew that something wasn't right. So with the support of my husband and even my parents who recommended a good therapist to see, I started my mental health journey at the age of 27. And I can say I'm almost about 2 years into my own experience. And I approached Sarah probably last summer, a little over a year and a half ago, as, just, hey, I would love for you to come on board, share your experience and your talent, and I'd love for Sarah to kind of go into that as well, so she can explain a little bit too.
Definitely.
So Jess and I have actually known each other since we were like, what, 4?
Yeah.
There's like really fun pictures of us at Planet Hollywood and then there's pictures of us in like Amish country on a train.
Oh yeah. Field trips galore, birthday
we've known
parties.
each other for a really long time, and we both have had like very specific expertise that like complement each other, but are different enough that like we offer like a wide variety of specialties within this company.
We do. We really keep each other in check, and we've also well balanced.
Yeah. So we also have had really different mental health experiences where I struggled a lot growing up. I've had OCD since I was little, and in high school I had a lot of issues with anxiety and depression that I obviously still work with now, but it was it's a lot more jarring when you're that age. You're just your hormones are crazy. It's very hard to keep yourself in check because you don't even know yourself yet. And so we bring like two sides to the same coin to what we're trying to do here, to the dialogue we're trying to create. And I think that part of what will make Looseends so special is that we will be contributing our stories, our experiences with our readers in a way that the owners of some platforms just don't do.
Yeah, I agree. A little bit more involved. We were going through this when I was going through my own personal journey. Of course, I think the most natural thing you want to do is get online and start looking things up through Google or Bing or Yahoo. And you're finding old forums from 2006 about coping with, eating disorders. It was so messy and sloppy, and there was no platform out there that really brought everything together. And that's why Looseends was created.
That's really cool, and I think it's such an inspiration that the both of you are doing this and being vulnerable and telling, your story, what you've been through, and the fact that it's different. That's a good example too, because like you said, when you look online and do your research about anxiety or depression, it's supposed to look like this or be like this. It's different for different people.
It is.
So the fact that you both have different experiences because you're different people and you can talk about it and share it, I think is a really good example. It's true. It is different for everybody.
Thank you.
What I'll say, I'm so sorry. What I'll say that was like very specific, like specifically about that topic is that for years my dad's been struggling with cancer, and it's been a constant source of both anxiety and stress, but also like sort of like love and support, and it's a really unusual balance, and you don't really know who to talk to because it's different when it's your spouse and it's different when it's your child, but when it's your parent, like people sort of act like that's sort of normal. Your parents get sick, and I for a long time was really lost and was trying to find a place to speak to someone, to join a community, even a support group, and there was nothing online, and not even any facility that had like young adults bereavement counseling or young adult bereavement groups, and it was confusing. Like like Jess said, I would look it up, like, what do I do? I'm in my 20s and my dad is sick. And everything I found was for teens and for adult children who were caretaking. And I was like, there's a huge gap in this dialogue. And even when I would find something applicable, it'd be something old from 2005 where I'm like, well, I can't reach out to this person. They probably don't even use this blog that I created. Like, there's no dialogue to be had. And we want to make that space where everybody is responding and talking to each other and connecting in other platforms. They don't always have to use Looseends. They can go on Instagram and become friends. Like, we want that. We want to create a community that comes back to us.
Yeah, no, and I think you being owners and sharing your stories just makes Looseends so much more genuine and that people can relate to, because I know a lot of times, reading articles and things online are very clinical sometimes, not as a personal story that people can relate to, and I find that a lot of people like hearing personal stories.
So that's exactly what I'm focusing on getting away from. I don't want mental health to be that clinical.
Exactly.
The way I was approached by a user one time was that we all have our physical health and we all have our mental health. We take care of ourselves physically, but why do we neglect ourselves mentally?
Exactly.
We need to work on that, right?
Yes.
So that was another reason why I didn't want this to be a clinical platform. I want to normalize the conversation and dialogue surrounding mental health. We should be able to talk about it.
I talking with you, I'm kind of getting an idea of maybe why it's called Looseends. I don't know. It kind of just seems like there's so many loose ends, that you got to put them together.
Yes, you're absolutely right. That's exactly why it's called Loose Ends. When it was started, it was honestly about tying my own personal loose ends together while other people are tying their personal loose ends together. But as we've grown and pivoted as an organization, it's really about bringing the bloggers and the yoga instructors and the therapeutic practices all together. It's more of that.
Yeah, so it's sort of tying up all kinds, right? It's like for people like me or people in similar sort of situations with anything that's more specific, really, like you'll be able to meet and interact with people who are going through the same thing and tie those loose ends together. But that's not the only end that you have to keep the pun going. Or it's not the only facet of my health. Is not just my dad, and it's not just dealing with anxiety. There's all these different sort of like a frayed end of something.
Absolutely.
It's going with the visual. So anyway, we would also love to hear how you guys got started, and I feel like you might have a sort of similar story.
Yeah, I did want to say really quick to what you said that just working as mental health professionals, we always, I work with an array of different ages, and we try to give resources and support, and sometimes it's really hard for clients to go to that resource or seek out that support, even if you're telling them or reminding them to do it. So this something that's online, that would be great, because a lot of teenagers or young adults, they would love to just be able to have something.
They have their phones.
It's a computer in your pocket.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, well, we'd love to explain our process a little bit and how one can kind of get involved if you'd like to hear.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, or we could go into what you got, whatever.
That's cool. Do you want to explain the process at the end?
Sure.
We can do so then, give them the information.
Sounds great.
Okay. So, how we got started?
Yep.
Okay, so Akilah and I met at graduate school. We went to Drexel University in Philadelphia.
Wonderful.
And that's where, our mental health professional journey began. Before that, for me, why I even wanted to get into the field, I don't know, it's kind of weird. I'll try to make it snappy, I guess. So, in second grade, I heard my mom talk about how she went to school and she was going to be a therapist and she liked working with kids, but she switched careers, and for her it was meeting with kids and the kids not always being truthful was kind of hard for her. Like, how can I know if they're telling the truth? That was a battle for her, and she cares so much. She has a really big heart. Like, taking her work home was also a concern for her. So she had a different career path, But that's a career I heard about, and I was like, what's that?
Great.
It seems interesting. So that kind of sparked my interest in second grade. So all the way through there, I was like, when I grow up, I want to help people. I want to work with kids. That's what I want to do. That was always, I know.
It's incredible that you stuck with that from second grade.
I know.
In second grade, I wanted to, I don't even remember, but it was maybe be a veterinarian.
Yeah.
Or like some other
Or like a
too.
pop star.
Or a pop star.
Yeah.
I think that was one of mine. I had like a plan A, plan B, or I might do this.
Yeah.
So,
Isn't Plan A always be like a celebrity?
Yes,
And you're
exactly.
like, or like an astronaut.
Something
work out.
huge.
And then like something like a writer is fine also.
So in high school, I took a theology class. I went to Catholic school, and we were talking about purpose in life and what God has planned for you. So I thought maybe I want to go into marketing or advertising or something because I like to be creative. But I still had that maybe I want to be a child psychologist. That was what I was thinking. And so I thought, what is something that, could benefit other people? I could use, my gifts or, what my purpose is here. So I decided to major in psychology. So college, I did psychology, and then that's when I went to Drexel and met Akilah. And that was a start. And then after you tell yours, then we can explain how we got
Here.
from there.
Okay.
Now I ramble so much.
No, you're fine. Mine's a little bit different from Erica's, but I've always wanted to help people. Like growing up, I was always like a tutor or a basketball coach or something like that. And then I got to high school and they gave us a psychology class. I was like, I love this. Like learning about the brain and how people work and really putting all that together. I didn't really solidify if I wanted to be a therapist or not until college. Yeah, so I remember the exact moment. I was sitting in this auditorium and they were giving, I think it was freshman year, and they were giving a talk about children and education and stuff like that. And there was this poignant story. I can't remember the exact details, but then I said, they were like, children they need the help. Not a lot of people focus on the adults and all that other stuff. So then I was like, you know what? That's it. That's what I want. That's it. That's what I do. I want to help kids and teenagers and all of that. So from that point on, it was just that path, which led me to knowing since I wanted to work with children, in order to better children's lives, you have to help with the family as well.
Yes.
No matter what's happening, because at the end of the day, children are going back to their parents and all this stuff is going on. So then I looked up marriage and family therapy, and then I went to Drexel.
I'm glad you made that point because before, originally it was kids.
Yeah.
And I didn't think about that. And then when I was researching graduate programs, I saw a couple of family therapy programs, which I didn't know existed. I was like,
exactly.
I didn't
Very
know
true.
I didn't know that was a thing. And I had a friend, Natasha, my friend, and I went to her house and I saw her family interacting, and that's when it clicked for me that, if I want to help kids, I have to help the family,
exactly.
the parents. That's when it clicked, and then that's when I found that program. So me and Akilah went to Drexel, and we had group supervision together.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
But I think the funny story about us is that I don't think we started talking since when was that? Spring?
Spring. More towards the end.
More towards the end because we're both kind of shy people.
Yeah, but I told Akilah when I saw her, I was like, I like Akilah. She's gonna be my friend. How is Akilah my friend?
Yeah, how did we do this? Yeah, one day. It was like
and I think in adulthood it's hard to make friends.
Yeah.
Being adult.
Yes.
hard.
Yes.
Yeah, so
As children, it's so easy.
Yes.
Because we're all just vulnerable.
They just put you in a room with the person.
Yeah, you're kind of like forced. Figure it out.
Yeah. As adults, we have to put ourselves out there.
Yes.
Right.
Very vulnerable.
So after school, I started a blog called from ericasheart.com, and it was just,
saw that.
Oh yeah, I haven't been on there in a while, but it was just question and answer for me, and it was more like an outlet for me. So just a personal thing because. In therapy, when people come in to talk with you, you can't just say, we do this, this, and this. Even though you think those things, might benefit them, you have to get to know them and they have to trust you. Who am I to tell you?
Exactly. All about the therapy, the relationship.
Right.
Absolutely.
So it's just kind of a way, to vent and help people at the same time. If you're just coming on there and asking me for advice, you asked me, so now I can just give it to you.
Yeah.
So, and it was fun. So then I saw this advertisement. I think I saw it on Instagram, and it was for a radio show. I was like, it'd be pretty cool to have a talk show. Let me just do my resume, see what happens. And so I presented to the person. They were like, "Oh, this is really cool. I like this idea." They really like the mental health aspect of it. Because when you think about it, people, have their talk shows and talk, and it's always mental health aspect to it. I think everything's about mental health.
Oh, yes.
So I reached out to Akilah and one other person from our cohort to do the show. So we started Harsh Chat at a radio station called The Daily Grind. And so we did that for a year. And it was really cool because people could call in and ask us questions, or people can come to the studio and, do our show. It was a lot of fun.
Were you nervous at first?
Yes, I was. I will be honest.
Sometimes.
And still sometimes I'm even nervous.
Sometimes. I think it depends on the topic. It's always a little bit nervous getting started, but then once you get into it, and we had help with the machines and all that technology stuff, but that was the beginning of it, and it was a lot of fun. And then we thought, if we're doing this with her on the radio station, we could do our own YouTube channel and just do it on our own, and we can move around a little bit more. So that's why we started doing YouTube.
And I think with Erica, when approaching me about Harsh Chat, it was all about changing the stigma, changing how people view mental health, and we do a lot of that through hot topics, normal things that people. There's always I think one of them was just about we talked about Rob Kardashian, and
we just saw that.
Yes, in terms of their toxic relationship, and that's something that people go through. So to relate it back to what's happening in the world. Mental health.
So did you guys have, as young adults and teenagers, did you have personal experiences that made you more aware of how the mental health dialogue is sort of lacking in places and there's holes in it, or was this more career driven?
For me, it was more career driven. When I think back to when I was younger, there's a lot of things happening in my life, but I think for me, being the oldest in my family, I always wanted to be a good example to my sisters. So my personality's always been to have it together, be put together, And I've had supervisors in the past say, do you really have to have it together all the time?
No.
So when I look back, I did a lot of that, just, maybe not always dealing with things head on, because I was also a people pleaser, but I would...
We're laughing because I pointed at Jessica twice.
But I used to write. I would write poems or write my feelings in my journal, and that was fun for me. When I look back, I see that was a coping skill, because I would always write if I was upset or sad or mad.
It all comes full circle.
Exactly.
There you go.
So that was,
For me, I think at first it was career driven. I think later, while I was doing it, it became a little bit more personal in terms of just family situations, dealing with mental health, and it was okay, now I want to know kind of what's going on, how did they get to this point, how can I help, different things like that. So when I was, just forgot what I was going to say, something off of Erica's, when I was younger, it was more, growing up, it was just a bit of a, tumultuous relationship with my parents. So then learning okay, how can I help break this cycle within my own life too? So learning for myself as well as helping others.
Very cool. And what do you anticipate for Harsh Chat Radio in the next 5 years or even 10 years?
Oh yeah.
Do you want to still be doing it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would love to still do it. More guests. We would like to do. I would assume we kind of have the same goals for Harsh Chat.
Yeah.
Do more speaking engagements.
Yes.
We're trying to put together a conference and have this conference be annual or every 2 years.
Wow. Amazing.
We're going towards nonprofit for Harsh Chat so that we can start putting these platforms out and things like that.
Yeah. Oh, that would be great.
That's really cool. And then our last question is what's your favorite episode of Harsh Chat? What's your favorite thing you've taught?
Oh my goodness.
Robin China.
I think I have. There's a few. It's
Good
a bunch that
question,
come to mind. One in particular, we had. I think it was our first one. We had the anonymous guest. They called in.
Oh yes.
And they talked about their depression and what it's been like for them. And they were anonymous, and we respected that. And I think it was better because they could be open and be vulnerable and just put it out there. and it felt good for them. So that was like, wow, like this could really like be something to help people. We're putting it out there.
That was like the aha moment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Everything just came full circle for.
We've had a couple anonymous submissions to Looseends as well, and I can totally see like I feel like the trouble we've had are relationship based, and I think especially with relationships, even if it's not like romantic, if it's family,
definitely.
That's hard because if your name's attached to it, people could find that.
Yeah. Oh, yes,
and being anonymous definitely like opens the door to be super frank and super honest, and also be a little bit more honest with what you've done and how you've contributed to a potentially toxic situation. It's hard to say, my name is Sarah and I've done this.
Yeah, it's very true. Okay, we were talking a little bit earlier about you guys' process. So could you explain that a little bit more to us?
Absolutely. So any articles submitted first go to write@looseends.org, and then they're reviewed, and the author is notified that their article is being sent to our editorial team for further review.
Yeah. And some articles require minimal editing, and with others, we reach back out to the author for revision. It is our goal to really offer our platform to as many people as possible, and we are willing to do whatever it takes to help people share.
Looseends is based on the knowledge that writing and communicating with your community is an essential part of mental health. Not only are authors sharing their stories or ideas or knowledge, but they are enacting a therapeutic practice while writing the article itself. Yeah, so you mentioned that earlier. That's why I said it comes full circle.
Yeah.
Like writing, I mean, growing up, I've studied English, in my undergraduate and graduate careers. Like, writing has always been a huge outlet for me, and like we want to offer that to as many people as possible. And even if you are not, a published, writer, or you don't have any experience with this, like, we welcome anyone to send us their work.
Absolutely.
And as long as the bones are there for something that could help someone else or be therapeutic in any way, we want to make the opportunity known that you are welcome to write for us, and we are going to do what we can to get you published.
And we've already started collecting pieces for our launch in April of 2018. So we're launching fairly soon. I know it sounds like a long time, but we're engineering a custom platform, so it takes a little bit of time to get organized and to get everything together. But please feel free to visit our website. You can sign up for our welcome letter. You can learn more about us and our story, and then you can go ahead and submit your article from there.
Right, so we already have 50?
Yeah, we have about 55 pieces in right now.
We have several interviews that have been done that are going to be published in the monthly basis. And
we have almost 700 people who have signed up for our welcome letter to begin writing and sharing their story.
So
and we
really
have a community. Yeah, we're so excited. We have a community of almost 3,500 now on social media, and it's also a great way to connect with us too.
Yeah, right now, if any questions, any comments, we are ready to answer.
Right?
And can you tell them what your social media is?
Oh, sure. Our handle is looseends.org. It's LOOSENDSDOTORG.
Yeah, you can reach us on Facebook, Instagram,
Or Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's been such a great interview with you guys. They're very inspiring and bringing everybody together. Like that's
Thank you.
That's what we always talk about is getting mental health normalized, and you guys are helping to bring that together.
Thanks. Yeah, we definitely try. You as well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to sit with us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for listening to Hearts Chat today, where we speak from the heart. We hope that you enjoyed our show. Catch us every Sunday and Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube channel and on our website, which is heartschatradioshow.com. Be sure to follow us on our social media pages at Hearts Chat Radio on Instagram and at Hearts Chat on Twitter, Facebook, and Periscope.
We love to hear from you. If you have any comments or questions or topics that you want to hear about, you can email us at heartschat@heartschatradioshow.com. And for all of your personal relationship questions, please visit my blog from ericasheart.com. Thank you for listening to Hearts Chat, where we speak from the heart.